Hello, you're tuning in to VNA News Daily Bulletin. Coming up next, we have your top stories. State President Nguyen Phu Trong receives Indian Ambassador Preeti Saran. Vietnam confirms territorial sovereignty at East Sea Seminar. Red River Delta's localities seek ways to cope with climate change. On February 25th, State President Nguyen Phu Trong hosted a reception for Indian Ambassador to Vietnam, Preeti Saran, who came to bid farewell at the end of her tenure in the country.
At the reception, President Sang spoke highly of the ambassador's contributions to developing friendly relations between the two countries. He asserted Vietnam consistently supports India's look-east policy, and we make every effort to realize already signed deals between Vietnam and India. To which it hit $5 billion in 2015, the president said, expressing his belief that the figure might rise to $10 billion by 2020. The state leader also hoped that the recently launched direct air route will facilitate trade links, as well as people-to-people exchanges between the two nations. India Ambassador Preeti Saran said the two countries should further economic, trade and tourism cooperation and people-to-people exchanges. She affirmed that India is ready to invest in Vietnam's oil and gas exploration and exploitation, as well as cooperating in defense security, especially in training and providing equipment for the country's Navy force.
The same day, State President Nguyen Phu Trong had a working session with leaders of the Hanoi National University, the country's leading establishment for graduate and postgraduate education, as well as research and application of scientific and technological advances.
President Sang urged the university to continue revamping its teaching and learning methods and employing advanced international education models in order to produce outstanding achievements. He said the university should become a base to assess the country's industrialization and modernization in the context of international integration. Regarding the Vietnam-Japan University, the president asked Hanoi National University to partner with relevant ministries and agencies to complete a feasibility project as soon as possible to take advantage of the support and assistance from the government and businesses of Japan. Staffed by nearly 1,900 lecturers, the university organizes an average of over 360 training courses every year, attracting some 36,000 students.
The 45th session of the National Assembly Standing Committee concluded on February 25th. Earlier, the committee made suggestions to draft working reports of the Chief Judge of the Supreme People's Court and Prosecutor General of the Supreme People's Procuracy.
At the sitting, the National Assembly Standing Committee agreed that the 11th meeting of the 13th National Assembly will open on March 21st. National Assembly Chairman Nguyen Phu Trong said the 11th meeting will focus on lawmaking, socio-economic development orientations, personnel work, and on summarizing operations of the 13th tenure. According to the Chief Judge's report, in the past 5 years, courts at all levels dealt with 1,781,410 cases of all kinds, out of the 1,809,080 cases received. Regarding the Procurator General's report, National Assembly Chairman Nguyen Phu Trong asked the Procurator General not to enumerate the works done by the procuracy sector, but to specify experience and lessons to further development.
Vietnam's sovereignty over Hoàng Sa and Trường Sa archipelagos, or Paracel and Spratly in English, is incontrovertible. Spokesman of the Foreign Ministry Lê Hải Bình made the remark while answering reporters' queries on Vietnam's reaction to the information that China sent fighter jets to Phu Lam Island in Vietnam's Hoàng Sa archipelago and installed a radar system on a number of structures belonging to Trường Sa Islands.
being noted that despite the objection and concern of Vietnam and international community, China continued to have actions which not only seriously violated Vietnam's sovereignty, accelerated the militarization in the East Sea, but also threatened peace and stability in the region, as well as navigation and aviation security, safety and freedom in the East Sea. Vietnam determinedly opposes China's violations of Vietnam's sovereignty and demands China to have responsible and constructive words and actions in maintaining peace and stability in the region and the world as well, on the basis of respecting international law, especially the 1982 United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea and the Declaration on the Conduct of Parties in the East Sea.
A seminar entitled East Sea, Security and Economic Implications was held in New Delhi, attracting prestigious scholars of India and diplomats from Russia, Japan, Australia and Singapore. Speaking at the event, Vietnamese ambassador to India Ton Sinh Thành affirmed that Hoàng Sa, Paracel and Trường Sa Spratly archipelagos belong to Vietnam, and the nation has sufficient historical and legal evidence to affirm its sovereignty over these islands. Vietnam is determined to safeguard its sovereignty over the archipelagos and stands ready to cooperate with claimants to peacefully settle territorial disputes in Trường Sa and Hoàng Sa in accordance with international law. The ambassador urged parties concerned to maintain the status quo, refrain from threat or the use of force to settle disputes so as to prevent complicating the situation in the region, while seriously and fully abiding by the Declaration on the Conduct of Parties in the East Sea and promptly reaching a code of conduct. Thành expressed his concern over China's militarization in the East Sea, which has not only violated Vietnam's sovereignty over Hoàng Sa, but also threatened peace and stability in the region, as well as maritime and aviation security, safety and freedom in the East Sea, eroding strategic trust and seriously impacting peace, security, development and cooperation in the Asia-Pacific region. Several Indian scholars were also concerned over China's unilateral action in the East Sea and called for peaceful solutions to settle the disputes and promote regional peace, stability, and prosperity. The first Economic Global Forum of the Community of Portuguese-Speaking Countries opened in Timor-Leste's capital city of Dili on February 25th. Our reporters will bring more details.
Addressing the forum, Timor-Leste Prime Minister Rui Maria de Araújo said Timor-Leste wants to make contributions to boosting the development of the community with member countries from 4 continents. Timor-Leste commits to accelerating its ASEAN integration to increase the community's presence in the region. The forum intends to point out and discuss the geostrategic relevance of Timor-Leste as a hub for business development between Timorese, the community, ASEAN and Asia-Pacific companies.
Joining this event, we hope to find partners not only from the community, but also from other regions, including Asia and Vietnam in particular.
Timor, it's been growing very fast, and we think Timor has preferential contacts with the countries in the region, such as your country and others. So we think we can enhance our cooperation, work in the trade facilitation issues in order to make or to open the possibilities for businessmen and for capital to flow around these countries and enable us to reach a broader market which represents the Asian the Asian side of the world, but also you can talk the same thing in our side of the world.
As a host of the first forum, Timor-Leste defines 4 strategic sectors for discussion and promotion, namely oil and gas, agriculture, agro-business, fishery and sea industry, tourism, manufacturing industry, and infrastructures and construction. Through successive enlargements, the community has grown from 7 founding states, including Angola, Brazil, Cape Verde, Guinea-Bissau, Mozambique, Portugal, and Sao Tome and Principe, to the current 9 with the self-determination of Timor-Leste in 2002 and the accession of Equatorial Guinea in 2014.
A groundbreaking ceremony was held in the southern province of Chà Vinh on February 24th to commence the first phase of a wind power project invested by the Republic of Korea.
The project, worth $130 million, covers over 102,000 hectares and is designed with a capacity of 48 megawatts. Once commissioned in February 2017, it is expected to generate over 173,000 megawatt-hours of power per year. Chà Vinh has the potential to develop wind power projects at coastal areas in Duyên Hải District and continental areas in Cầu Ngang District. The development of wind power aims to create clean energy and mitigate greenhouse gas emissions and environmental pollution. In addition to supporting the national power grid and ensuring energy security, the projects will also help create jobs for locals and contribute around 30 to 40 billion Vietnam dong, or 1.35 to 1.8 million US$ per year to the local budget. The Ministry of Industry and Trade has approved a plan to develop wind power in Chà Vinh through 2020 and with a vision towards 2030, targeting a wind power output of 634 million kilowatt-hours by 2020. So far, the province has planned 6 wind power projects at coastal areas in Duyên Hải District and Duyên Hải Town, which span over 7,600 hectares.
A forum was held in the northern port city of Hải Phòng on February 25th to boost cooperation among provinces and cities in the Red River Delta to cope with climate change.
Addressing the event, Deputy Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development Lê Quốc Doanh said Vietnam is forecast to be one of the most vulnerable countries to climate change and sea level rise. Notably, the Red River Delta is likely to face more severe impacts than the Mekong Delta. The forum, the second of its kind, was designed to help relevant parties to gain a deeper understanding of climate change impacts on the Delta, as well as call for additional investment in this field. U.S. Ambassador to Vietnam Ted Osius affirmed that the U.S. Agency for International Development sees climate change adaptation in the Red River Delta as its priority. The agency has funded a number of projects in the Delta, namely Vietnam Forest and Deltas Program, Hạ Long Gat Ba Alliance, Red River Delta Adaptation and Youth, also known as REDI in short, and Twin Cities Coping with Natural Disasters.
As many as 73 riders from 25 countries and territories worldwide gather at Ninh Chữ Bay in southern Ninh Thuận province on February 25th to participate at the Kite Boat Tour Asia's X-Champs 2016. After the opening ceremony, X-Champs riders began competing in twin tip, freestyle, and stand-up paddleboat racing. There are also exchange programs to introduce the sport to the general public. The professional series is scheduled to run its first leg in Vietnam from February 25th to 28th before moving to Pranbury, Thailand from March 15th to 20th and Hainan, China from April 6th to 10th. The event is a good chance to strengthen international exchanges, develop various types of marine sports in Ninh Thuận, and promote the beauty of the local land and people. And that has wrapped up our news bulletin. Thank you for watching. For more information, please log on to our website at www.vietnamplus.vn. We'll see you soon.